Welcome back to Lesson 8 of the Career Ready series. I'm Savannah Poole, and today we're talking about communication in the workplace. Here's the reality. Strong communication skills will set you apart just as much as your technical skills. You can be great at the work, but if you can't communicate clearly, it creates confusion, delays, and frustration with your team. So today, we're going to talk about how to communicate clearly, professionally, and effectively. Here's what we're going to cover today: written communication, messaging etiquette, meetings, active listening, and then a simple assignment to practice these skills. Let's start with written communication. This includes emails, messages, and anything you send to other people on your team. First, be clear and direct. Don't overcomplicate your message. Second, keep it concise. People are busy. You need to respect their time. Third, always include a clear ask. One of the worst things is just forwarding an email or sending something, and the person on the receiving end has to read it over and over and they don't understand what your ask is. Make it easy for them. If that's not clear, they won't know how to respond. And overall, respect people's time by being clear, direct, and to the point. Now, let's talk about messaging. You're most likely going to be using Slack or Teams, something like that when you get your first job. First, don't just say hi and then wait. Get to the point. Instead of hi, say hi. Quick question about the report. Can you review that for me by 2 p.m.? Second, use threads and give clear context. Don't make people guess what you're referring to. And third, always keep it professional. Even though it feels casual, it's still your work environment. Now, let's talk about your environment, especially for virtual communication. Find a quiet space with no interruptions. You need to test your microphone ahead of time, silence your notifications, and remember, clear audio matters than perfect video. If people can't hear you clearly, that impacts your communication immediately. Now, let's chat about meetings. First, always be on time and prepared. Don't show up to a meeting trying to catch up with what's going on. Second, mute when you're not speaking. This helps reduce distractions in your environment. Third, always contribute when it's appropriate. You don't have to talk constantly, but you should be engaged, and it's going to show your team you care and you're listening. People notice who is present and who is contributing. Finally, let's chat about active listening. This is one of the most important and most overlooked skills in the workplace. Don't interrupt. Let people finish their thoughts. Next, ask clarifying questions. Make sure you fully understand, and it'll show that you're engaged and listening. And third, repeat back key points. This also shows that you're paying attention and it helps avoid miscommunications. Because at the end of the day, listening to your team builds trust with your team. All right, here's your homework assignment. First, take a casual message and rewrite it professionally. Second, practice writing a clear, concise email. Focus on being direct, clear, and specific. Because the more you practice this, the more natural it becomes. All right. Thanks for joining me for lesson 8. I'm excited to see you in lesson 9. Bye.